Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you another episode review from Season 8 of The Loud House. So let's get right into it. Today's episode is Only Mime Will Tell. In this episode, Luan must remain silent as part of her tryout for the Varsity Mime Team at school, and not being able to verbally communicate leads to problems for both her and potentially her dad. Remember when I asked if there would be an episode that could be just as good, if not better, than Be Careful What You Fish For? Well, this is it. I absolutely love this episode. This was Luan's first leading role of the season, and she absolutely nailed her performance. This is only the second time in the series where she went through the majority of an episode acting like a mime, the first time being all the way back in the Season 1 episode, Ties That Bind. Also, after many past instances where she can be seen dressed as a mime in episodes where she's not the main character, this is the first time Luan's passion for the silent arts was the focus of the story. This was a nice change of pace from her usual episodes where she's either performing as an actress in the high school theater club or anything that involves Mr. Coconuts. Anyway, Luan wants to get her hands on the special mime varsity beret, and after completing the physical test as part of the tryout for the team, she must complete the mental test by going the rest of the day without talking whatsoever, which includes being unable to write and text. This leads to Luan ending up in situations by her younger sisters, who completely misinterpret her silent way of saying she wants no involvement with whatever it is they want her to do, resulting in a bad hairstyle and feeling some intense pain. Lots and lots of intense pain. Unfortunately, because she can't say a word no matter how much she wants to, she couldn't tell her dad he dropped his phone before he drove away. So she leaves her dad's phone on the dining room table and later gets a text from a saleswoman saying the lobsters her dad purchased had actually gone bad and shouldn't be eaten. So Luan races to Lynn's table and tries to stop all the customers from eating the lobsters. But when she can't make it over to Mrs. Bernardo's table to stop her from taking a bite, Luan is forced to open her mouth and yell to her teacher not to eat the lobster. Even though Luan understandably gets upset for thinking she broke the most important rule of being a mime, Mrs. B actually congratulates her for saving her life and the lives of the other customers. According to the code book, a mime is allowed to speak if they see someone being put in harm's way. It may seem like a rather convenient yet logical loophole, but Luan, being a hero because of it, earned her a spot on the Varsity Mime Team and her very own varsity beret. Given the circumstances, I think it's fair to say Luan turned out to be somewhat of a silent hero. Pun definitely intended. Overall, this episode was an absolute blast when it came to visual comedy and story progression. All the mime performances seen throughout the episode were entertaining, Luan's being the most comical. Her being on the receiving end of her sister's antics were the biggest highlights, and her reactions to getting hurt because of them were downright hilarious. Her silent way of trying to communicate with everyone, including Mr. Grouse, was also pretty funny, and I really liked how it was all tied together with the music. Luan's non-verbal way of communicating being accompanied by the sounds of a piano gave her scenes a classic silent film vibe. I also got a kick out of Mrs. Bernardo opening and actually reading from the giant invisible book about being a mime, and the fact you can hear the sounds of the book being plopped on a table and pages being turned just makes it even more amusing. My only critique would be Lynn Sr. and his inability to recognize the poor condition of the lobsters. For him being a professional cook, he sure didn't think anything was off-putting about those crustaceans until someone told him they were spoiled and therefore not good for consumption. Other than that, willing to break the number one rule of being a mime in order to prevent her teacher from getting sick led to Luan achieving her goal, and now she can consider herself among the best in the silent arts community. So at the time of this video being released, this episode has earned a spot on my top 10 list for the 8th season. With that said, I give Only Mime Will Tell a 9.9 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Only Mime Will Tell. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.